Welcome to 2 on the 10.
Oh, we back 2 on the 10, baby. Yes, sir. I'm Paul.
I'm Mitch.
Nick.
Greedy.
I mixed it up. Not so greedy when you winning. It ain't greed.
Greed?
It ain't greed when you got the green in your pocket.
It ain't greed, it's need.
Check back in 3 weeks.
It ain't greedy when it's needy, huh? Anyway.
I've thrown off the whole podcast. Let's get into it.
Let's talk about something else. Anyway, I'm the funny real. Anyway, how was you?
Thank you.
Mine was cool. I'll start off. It was just, again, same thing, like relaxing, some cigars at night on the patio. Just trying to, pretty chill. Hit the bike for a little bit. You know, weather's been beautiful. And then on Sunday, my little bro Ryan, shout out Ryan, the guest list and everything, and he got some big plans going on in the Bay Area soon. With Level, shout out Level. He hit me up, wanted to see if we wanted to go. Me and my girl wanted to go with him and his wife to brunch, the first brunch over at the new hot spot in North Scottsdale, Edda. And just to be clear, we're talking about this back in the green room. Yeah, Edda has been around for a little bit over Scottsdale quarters or whatever, Commons or whatever. And but it used to be owned by Maple and Ash. Apparently, food was good. It was a cool vibe or whatever, great location. But I don't know if something happened or whatever, but it seemed like it didn't quite grab, the people's attention like it was supposed to for what was supposed to be out there. So I guess some other super group came in and bought it out. Looks like they put in I don't know if I'm supposed to be talking about it, but they put in $1.5 million into renovating it and, theming it. Now, the interesting part is they kept the name, so they kept the name, again, I thought that was kind of interesting. We'll see. But man, it is the hot spot right now in Scottsdale. It's like where all the cool kids go. I've seen it firsthand. It's also KD from the Suns had his birthday party there over a week ago. There was also something else going on there. I can't remember who else did something there, but it's supposedly the seen and be seen place. And so we were fortunate enough to go to the first Sunday brunch they had out there.
So is it more like it was Italian feel before. Is it still the same way?
Yeah, so it's Italian and American comfort food cuisine, I'll say. Like for example, at first of all, this brunch, and again, I can't say it's going to be like that always, because they have complimentary champagne, and of course they have Vu, so that was nice. That's my favorite, I guess, I don't even know how to, if you're not talking Dom or, whatever, Ace of Spades or, Krug Rosé.
Vu Collective?
Yeah, Vu, I think so. I honestly, for the price across the board, you can get it for $50 a bottle.
And it's way better than fucking,
you guys say Cristal, right?
Yeah.
I do.
It's nasty, bro. You do agree. I know we disagree sometimes on included shit like that.
I will say it is overrated.
Yeah.
I would say it's vastly
It's an
overrated.
acquired taste.
But man, I'll tell you, the first time you have that bottle, we did in Hollywood, it
brought a lot of attention.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that much.
yeah.
But
no,
the taste, it was disappointing. I was hyped up to get that motherfucker.
Yeah,
But you know what's funny? Yeah. That bottle was what?
And well, at the club, it was $5.75, which was cheap. Which was cheap at the club in Hollywood.
Yeah, Hollywood. But what I'm saying is, what do you think that bottle hit for right now?
Well, here's the thing. There's two different worlds. There's the where can you get the bottle at price, and I want to say a bottle of Cristal is probably about $275 on the open market, $225 to $275, just depending. I'm always quoting Costco, but I'm gonna say $275, like Total Wine. What would you say, Nick? Let's look it up right now.
What do you think?
$3.79 at Total Wine.
Oh wow!
Oh man, that inflation is really. We'll get to inflation a little bit later, but that inflation is really crazy. So if it's $3.75 at Total Wine, I'm just gonna do the club math for you. A bottle of Cristal is at least $1,200 to $1,500 at the club,
And it's also going to depend on the year too.
of course.
They have a 2000. That's a 2014 is $3.79. 2012 is $9.99.
Now I need a 2019.
We're back in the early 2000s.
Yeah. So
And then they have the Cristal Rosé, $8.49.
at Total Wine,
Yeah.
ooh, and we're talking, So
Maybe the rosé tastes better.
oh yeah, no. But and then Vu though, for the price, man, I'm just telling you guys, about $50 a bottle, whether at Total Wine or at Costco. Definitely some solid stuff. So yeah, they had that. They also had it was just a little cart they pushed around and was going around refilling the champagne. So that was dope. Then they had a cart with a Bloody Mary bar that they made for you. Yeah, I mean, they had even asparagus. They had like bacon. They had, everything on the side. And they had like 5 different premier vodkas. They even had Chopin. I mean, I just did my one.
Bad. I ain't gonna lie.
No, agreed.
Don't people so sleep on show?
Oh, well, I'm just gonna say, the type of people you're with, they drink Chopin because there's not many places that carry it, but it's usually high end.
Yeah.
And so, but now I'll still stick with my Kettle One if we're talking, good vodkas.
Yeah, that's all that potato vodka, maybe.
Yep. And so, the menu was cool. It was a pre-done menu for brunch. We just kind of split a lot of things on the table. Of course, I love the steak and eggs. That was money. Me and Ryan split a lobster BLT.
Okay, there you go.
That was cool. I know the girls did a frittata, some kind of frittata, and then they also did like a crabs Benedict. And then man, we kept ordering shit. Let me see, because we were there from like 12:30 to like 4. And I'm trying to think what else. Oh, they have what they're known for too, for their Italian dishes, is their spicy rigatoni. So definitely that's a must to check out. And then what I really liked, even though I looked at the price of the shit, because then I'm really into grits. They had their what's it called? Shrimp and grits bowl.
Okay.
And the crazy thing is they use burnt popcorn just to flavor the top, which I thought was pretty interesting. I'd never seen that in my life. Amazing bowl of grits. Now, this is not knocking the place because, you go to a place you're going to spend. But, man, I had grits last night. My girl Chris made me some grits shrimp and grits, because that bowl was $46 for shrimp and grits.
Which is crazy.
But man, amazing shrimp and grits. But and then so definitely check it out. It's definitely a vibe. They got a DJ playing, and the one thing I love about the DJ was that it was he definitely knew his music because he was playing all the originals that everything sampled from. So we're talking the 70s and 80s, and we're talking like the everything from the soul to the jazz to the R&B, that everything is kind of derivative off of, whether it be 90s, 2000s, or even now. And every once in a while, he'd throw in a little something, just to let you know he was current. And then about 1 o'clock, dudes on air guitars came in and were playing to the songs too. And that was pretty sick. They turned the lights down, had the little light show. So it was funny because it was like a combination. It's like definitely worth checking out. A lot of who's who popped through there. A lot of the cool kids, like I said. And I'm just gonna say this. It was pretty interesting because Ryan, he drove his Rolls, right?
Right.
So it was funny. We pull up. And right before we pull up, the same Rolls, a different person pulls up in the same Rolls right in front of us. So, I don't know, it's just interesting.
Rolls these days, they're diamond.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And then so it's funny, then when you pull out, you see Rolls, Lambo, Bentley, like all the, statues.
Here in Scottsdale. So
of course, North Scottsdale on a Sunday, of course.
So,
but so no, it was cool, man. It had a great time. And then just basically chilled, man. So yeah, my weekend was simple for most days, and then did the edit, which definitely, if you get a chance, check out Edit in North Scottsdale. It's definitely a vibe. It's definitely the place to be right now. So, and shout out to my boy Ed. Congrats, he's the GM over there. So
gotcha. Funny story about Woo Clay. There's this hotel in Aspen. It's a beautiful hotel, and they do Woo actually sponsors. They call it Party on the Bottom of the Hill. And they just set up these tables. Everybody's out there, and it's actually, if you've ever been skiing out there during the day, it's actually pretty warm. Just with the sun reflecting off the snow and shit. But they basically, Woo gives you, they call it a spray bath. So essentially, you can buy. They got dudes out there buying fucking 10, 20 bottles of fucking Woo, but they only charge you $100 a bottle, right?
Uh-huh.
And then you use it to fucking squirt. These people are fucking squirt. This man, I just watched this dude blow 1,000 bottles just because, $1,000 just because he wanted to squirt champagne all over the place. It's a wild little party, but that's why Woo's always been like kind of like one of my favorite and stuff like that. Used to be on your champagne kick back in the day.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. And Woo,
yeah,
I love Woo. Woo's solid, man.
That's when they're just like, you have too much money. I was like, I'm gonna spend $1,000 just to squirt a bunch of people with champagne.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this is fucking wild now. Yeah, I was up there. It was fucking when I was married. I was up there for my anniversary, so it was just I got to see a lot of shit. It was people definitely party in Aspen. Trust me. down.
That's funny you say that too, because I just heard about, I'm not going to say who or what, but I heard about a group that just did this a couple weeks ago in Scottsdale. They were at Pretty Please, maybe. It was either Pretty Please or Cake, I can't remember. And yeah, I guess they had a bunch of bottles of either Vu or Dom come out. You know, it wasn't even Dom. It was probably Moet even, just, you know, whatever.
Just so they can spray.
And no, they gave one to each person in the crew. They popped them, and then they had a big garbage can. They started dumping it in the garbage can.
Are you serious?
That's serious.
For shit.
I like how he gets offended by that, but you can spray that. And you put it in.
It's weird, man, folks. It's kind of fun. It was like it's like you having a party, you spray, and they're spraying, you know, champagne back to you. It's kind of like having a squirt gun fight.
Champagne wars.
You know, champagne wars.
Well, I'll tell you what's funny is, you ever seen the champagne guns? Oh, well, remember remember one of the birthdays we did the champagne flutes or whatever, and then, you know, you quick shot them and it's like a bong.
Yeah.
And then I know at Maple and Ash on Sunday brunch, they bring out the champagne like basically a gun, turn it upside down and start like
Work. Yeah. I have to do one of them brunches again. You know who got a good brunch is Sumamaya. Sumamaya got a good really.
that's all you can eat too.
Yeah. I don't
All you can eat and all you can drink mimosas and
well, it's not all you can drink anyway. It's for like $1 or some shit like that.
okay, got it.
Because they can't say it's bottomless anymore or such. I don't know, some little rule they got in Arizona.
Got you.
So you don't get off.
Well, I'll say this: I've been there when it was.
Yeah, where you?
Yeah.
I've been there when it was bottomless.
Yeah.
Yeah, you better have a driver.
Yeah.
That big.
So, speaking of bottomless, how was your weekend, Paul?
Oh, pause. Man, my weekend was good, man. I just had a good friend of mine. He got married over the weekend.
Is he divorced now?
To his wife. It's been a long time coming. You know, they live down in Mexico now. She is from Yugoslavia. Not Yugoslavia. She's from one of the countries on. It's not Yugoslavia. It sounds like that, but it's on the border of Russia. But anyway, they met like 5 years back.
Mhm.
She's been trying to get into the country legally, you know, trying to do it right. Got her visa denied, so they got married down in Mexico. Hopefully, you know, they'll be back to the U.S. sometime when U.S. gets their mind together. But it was beautiful, man. The wedding was beautiful. But to kind of give you a little context behind it, me and my girl, it was a week notice. A little surprise, week notice. So we flew down. They live in this place called, right outside of Guadalajara. It's called Chapala. That's what it's called. It's called Chapala, a little city out of Guadalajara. You know, Guadalajara is the second biggest city in Mexico, behind Mexico City. Okay. Huge, big traffic, everything. Beautiful. It's a beautiful city. You know, people are always, you know, I think up here, we're so used to like going to Rocky Point and stuff like that, seeing all the little desert land. Down there, it is like lush green, just beautiful rolling hills, agave everywhere. It's crazy. But I went down there for a concert, saw this concert with this EDM performer's name is Zoo. Dope. It was a dope ass little venue. Vibed down there. Got trashed that night. Then had to get up, get on a fucking plane. I hate flying hungover. That was the one thing I hate doing. So we flew spent one night in Guadalajara. Went from Guadalajara to Puerto Vallarta. Had the driver pick us up, take us all the way to this. If you ever in Puerto Vallarta, anybody, go to this little 45 minutes drive outside of Puerto Vallarta. It's called Sayulita. And when I tell you what you think of a like surfer Mexican town, it's so beautiful. Everything is up and coming. Feels like a big old hippie town, kind of a little bit. Everybody rides around in golf carts and stuff like that. Cool. Food is amazing. And we didn't know. We were down there for Dies de Muerte, which is
Day of the Dead.
Day of the Dead. Yeah. So
I'm not Spanish.
So it was kind of crazy because my girl, she was freaking happy as shit because we didn't realize that's what it was down there. And they had them big old festivals. Man, they really do it. They had this parade that led all the way to like the cemetery, and they set up a stage where they were partying down there, stuff like that. You know, I didn't realize how big, you know, this quote unquote holiday is. You know, the Mexican, the heritage, you know, so like how big it is in the culture and stuff like that. But it's a big holiday. It's them giving respect to the dead, and they feel like on that day that, you know, their spirits will be, you know, you'll be able to come and pay out with the spirit of the dead and stuff like that. Stuff like that. So,
I'll say this. One of my friends I used to work with, she lived in, I can't remember, so I don't want to do it justice, but one of the little small cities outside of any of the big cities. And she would show me videos of like the Day of the Dead celebrations and how people put on masks and they come out and they say all these prayers. And so, she said some of that shit gets pretty crazy.
no, it does.
Especially the smaller cities with the police.
No,
Yeah, it's crazy.
bro, they were shutting down the road. I mean, this is a small town. They were shutting down the roads. You couldn't get in or out. They were doing it was like a 3-day festival. It was every night. They were partying like every night, and people were so friendly. It wasn't, you know, there was police presence everywhere, but there wasn't any fights or nobody getting too fucked up, you know. So, you know, but it was a beautiful experience. I was happy. I was happy that I was down there for it. And I was happy that my girl got to see it. It was on her bucket list. I didn't even know. And she was like, "Man, you checked something off my bucket list." I was happy about. So, you know, I was definitely happy to see that. But we had the very next day. That was Friday, Saturday. You know, we got up, hung by the pool and stuff like that. I took my girl to this little secret, like it's a little surfing spot, but it has this dude drove 25 years. The guy, he had a food truck and drove it down there, parked it, and it's down there. It's called Cameroons. If you're ever down there, it's called Cameroon. And his food is off the charts. I don't know if you guys like hot dogs. You know? Bro, this dude did I was like, I had to have, you know, because I don't know, they eat a lot of hot dogs down there. He fixes one hot dog. I'm telling you, it had fucking bacon.
First thing I ever saw bacon was in Mexico.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
It was had bacon,
circa
had
1993.
the pickles, all got, and it was the best tasted fucking hot dog I've ever. I was like, this shit is off the charts. They have all these, but Cameroons, if you can find it, so you got to know where you're going. I just ask folks; they'll direct you down there. But it was fire. So we ate that.
You had a Chihuahua dog?
No, it wasn't no damn Chihuahua dog.
No, I'm serious. That's what they call Mexican hot dog.
Oh, really? Okay,
There's a
gotcha.
certain Chihuahua dog, and there's a Chihuahua dog, there's a Sonoran dog. There's like about 15 different styles of hot dogs.
I don't know. Their fucker was good. Yeah, that's why I knew about that. So we went down to the secret beach. It's not that secret anymore. A lot of folks know it down. 4 years ago when I went down there before, it was only like 5 people down there. But this time, that was their special beach.
Okay.
And so it was a beautiful ceremony. It was about 8 of us down there. We all recorded. We got this lady also to come and do a record. And they did the officiating. The lady kind of spoke Spanish. It was a cool little ceremony. It was perfect for them. They didn't want anything big. They wanted something, you know, quaint and tight and stuff like that. They got married. It was awesome. And then we had a little bonfire. We did a little bonfire down there. It was fire. Did that. And then we went back to a place you got to check out. If you're ever in Sayulita, it's called Si Señors, and order one thing, the queso fundido.
Okay.
We went to see, is that Puerto Vallarta? Said?
Yeah, but it's different. I don't know if it's the same company or whatever, but they do have a Si Señors in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
But it's in Sayulita.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to tell you, the queso fundido with the shrimp, it's next level. I mean,
I was gonna say, yeah, because we did go to one pretty good.
the food down in that area, down in that region, like, I don't know what it is. The food is so good. So
Well, it's
good.
definitely. I'll tell you this: the first time we went to Puerto Vallarta, I could just tell the difference in like the cheeses and the sodas.
Yeah, it's the sodas. Yeah, the soda's different too. It's like,
I mean,
I don't know. I'm like, fuck, you know, what the fuck are they putting in all the chemicals and shit that they putting in up here in our sodas and shit? Because it tastes different, don't it? It tastes like fresher.
yeah,
You
no,
know?
I try not to drink.
Like I know I don't drink that much soda, but I feel like it's eating up your insides, you know, up here. But you know, it was cool. Like I said, we partied that night. They went hard that night, and then we had to get up and caught our flight back on Sunday. You know, you take a couple of days to recover once you get back from, you know, a trip like that where you partying every night and stuff like that. But it was great, man. It was great. I had a fabulous weekend. It was
That's like your second or third trip to Mexico.
I know. Listen, I keep saying I'm done with these days.
I know. I thought we heard that a couple weeks ago.
No, I am. I'm
Done with my trips. I'm
No. I'm fucking. I need to take a break. So I'm on a break right now. So we are definitely officially. Anyway, Greedy,
Yeah.
give me what you got for the weekend, baby. He was.
I went to Kansas City, baby. You're all.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
So yeah, I was. I had to go.
What side
down-
did you stay on? You stay on state line. What side of the state line road did you stay on?
I stayed in Kansas, but my office is on the Missouri side.
Okay.
No, my office is in Kansas. But and I stayed in Kansas, but I was always over in the Missouri.
The bar district at all?
I actually didn't get a chance to. So the first night, basically Monday when I got there, went to the Chiefs game Monday night, which was dope. Our company, we're a sponsor. We have a suite. Had all the food and drink. We got there extra early, which is another crazy thing because I think about like Monday Night Football in Arizona. You know, it's starting at like 5 or 6 o'clock. You know, you're rushing home after work. They're starting at 7. So you're like, you can get out of work at 5, do your drive to the game, and you're still an hour early.
Yeah, because we don't realize we're either 2 or 3 hours behind the East Coast time. So when games start, look like, you know, games start like at 5 or 6 here, it's fucking, you know, it's 8, 9 o'clock right now.
Yeah, well, we just stayed the same, right, this weekend?
Yeah, we stayed
Yeah,
the same everybody else.
Yeah, we the smart ones.
So went to the game. The game was dope. Taylor Swift was there.
Okay.
Everybody was talking about that. So that was cool. Our suite was like just on the corner of the end zone, and she's like right down like on the 50, like underneath the broadcaster's box.
Okay.
And she was there, so everybody was talking, and we were talking to the lady that like that works there, that works like the aisle. She's one of the ushers. She pops out. She has a Super Bowl ring. She's like, yeah, when the team wins, everybody gets an option to buy a ring.
Holy shit.
So she had it's not the exact same ring as the players have. It's like
It's like a
theirs
rep.
have all the bling on it. It's still real like gold and diamond,
Okay.
but it doesn't have all the
Gotcha.
additional bling.
Yeah.
She said she paid a decent amount for it.
Okay.
But she was showing off as a dope ass ring. And I was like, damn. And then when we got there, they were handing out beanies in the Chiefs colors for everybody.
Really?
So yeah, everybody got a beanie.
Okay.
We got there. It was pretty dope. They the Chiefs Stadium, it's cool because it's outdoors. It was raining the whole time, but it was like like when I think about rain here, it's like that heavy downpour.
Yeah.
The rain there was like, it rained like the first day and a half I was there, but it was like a light mist. Like you could stand there and you're getting wet, but you don't feel like it's just pounding.
Yeah.
Pause. I knew that was coming. So, but you could see like when you look down at the game, it didn't look like it was raining, but then you look up at the lights and you could just see it coming down.
Down there.
And the game was a great game. Game went to overtime. They played the Bucks.
Yeah.
Game went to overtime. And the Chiefs pulled that out in the end. Crowd was going crazy in there.
Yeah, I love. Listen, that was my favorite. All the stadiums to play. Kansas City was my favorite place to play. I'm gonna tell you, the fan base is nothing like it. The organization, there's nothing like it. It's one of them places where you want to play. They love their Chiefs. They know they play the game. You know, the organization. You know, it's a business. You know, once you get it, but they know how to treat their players. You know what I'm saying? And nobody fucking really wants to leave from there. I mean, you think about Kansas and Missouri, and I'm like, oh, what it, bro? I'm telling you, it's like they love their team out there. They love their team, and that's got. I mean, like, you know, the Royal Stadium's right.
Yeah, right next door. It's a big youth stadium complex.
But they love their fucking sports.
And we had a little bar set up in our suite, and they had like a guy pouring drinks, pouring them stiff.
Yeah,
I had a few, and I was like, woo, feeling nice.
you was feeling good. Get out of there.
Oh yeah. So then I went down. I have a couple friends that are like really good Chiefs fans, so I bought a hat and a shirt for one of them, and just had it was a great time, great game. And then we got to the parking lot and tried to get on the road. It took us from the time we got to the car to just get out of the parking lot and get to the main road, like the freeway, it's an hour and a half.
True.
They whipped us around, and then we got on this 1-lane road, and there was an accident, and nothing was moving, and we just sat there in traffic for like an hour and a half, and it was horrible. At that point, because it's later there, the game didn't get over till like almost 11, I think 10:30 local time, and by the time I got back to my hotel, it was like 1 a.m. I was exhausted. It was a long, long day, but I did get to eat some good barbecue. So while I was there, I know everybody talks about all the famous ones. I guess this new place, it's called Q39. I guess it's been around for a while now, but it's like I'll say it's more of an upscale barbecue type place. It's sit down, but the food was really, really good. I had this plate. It had ribs, brisket, chipotle sausage, and then I got a side of mac and cheese. Man, everything was good. The brisket, you could literally like lay your fork on it and it just like cut apart.
It was better than Little Miss Barbecue.
It's different because Little Miss is like counter service.
Yeah.
This is probably some of the best barbecue you're gonna get for a sit down place. Because a lot of those places that do really
Gates. Yeah, I mean, yeah. And then Jack Stacks was
and like I said, I asked all the guys, people at the office, and they all said this is like the hot new barbecue spot.
They don't know.
They don't know shit.
So
No uppity motherfuckers.
not necessarily like it's like they put
Raisins the potatoes.
They have a couple locations, and they're all like 4748. They're all like 4748. So they get great reviews. And like I said, it was really, really good.
Oh, I'm not saying the place is bad.
No, I know what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
And not
If you go to New York, are you going to see the Yankee Stadium, or are you going to see like the Liberty? The Liberty one.
these missiles.
You said the raises and the haters.
Always some haters at this podcast. We're gonna call it 2 haters on the 10.
So you just gotta go?
But yeah, just got home late last night. I did also take a road trip on one of the days. I drove from Kansas through Missouri, through Iowa, over to Nebraska. I went to Lincoln, Nebraska.
Oh, how was that?
It's a small town.
Lincoln is really. Lincoln would be pretty big.
No, they small. That like I was driving in, I was like, wait, I'm in Lincoln? Like I just thought I was driving through countryside. But
Rural America.
yeah, rural. I'm telling you, the Midwest there, it's pretty flat and it's pretty small town.
Did you get in a pickup game at the Field of Dreams?
I did not. Kansas City's a pretty big city. Not like downtown Kansas City isn't like overly like ginormous, but the area of Kansas City is pretty big. And of course it goes across 2 states.
Did you meet Molokai?
I didn't.
Or the other children?
Going up, once I got out like into like rural Missouri up heading towards Iowa and stuff, there wasn't much out there. There's just a bunch of like small little towns and, 2-lane roads going each way. And I was just driving. It rained the whole time that I drove all the way there, all the way back. It's normally like a 2.5, 3-hour drive. It took me about 3.5 each way because
You're running.
yeah, so here's the thing. We have an office in Lincoln, Nebraska. We have an office in Omaha, Nebraska. Well, one of my guys works in Lincoln, so I just drove 3.5 hours to hang out for like 2 hours, took him to lunch, talked to some people in the office,
So it was a date?
and then drove back 2 hours, 3.5 hours. So 7 hours of driving for about like a 2-hour lunch, basically. But it was cool. I mean, I got to see a lot of different countryside that I've never seen before. I drove past this restaurant. It was called the Dusty Trail. And that's always what I say to people when I'm leaving. I'm like, I'm going to hit the Dusty Trail. So I saw the restaurant, so I took a picture. I texted to some of my friends that I always say that to. They're like, oh, that's crazy. And then they just happened to be driving. They were driving from Phoenix to Indiana because Tosh is moving back to Indiana. They were driving down the same road. All of a sudden, they called me like, we just drove past the Dusty Trail.
Oh, yeah.
Like 2 days later. So I was like, that shit's crazy.
That's funny.
I was like, you're on the same boring ass road that I just drove on. But overall, Kansas City's pretty cool. Airport's a little weird. They don't have like men's rooms and women's rooms. They're all they're just walls of stalls with doors that close wall to ceiling. And everybody just walks in, you find an open one, you go in.
You're the segment of
It's basically a unisex bathroom, but the lining between each stall is like an inch thick. Like you could almost like feels like you can push through. It's so thin.
So you can play battleships with your neighbor.
Yeah, it's not like a thick wall. It's almost like a fiberglass that they just put up that like you could probably punch right through it easily. And it's just you're sitting there and you can hear just all just dropping bombs. So I was like, and then you come out, it's like some old lady comes out of the stall next to you. Like, what the hell? It was crazy. I've never seen bathrooms like that before. Like I've seen where you have like your own little rooms, but this was just a wall of toilets, and then just they basically built like little stalls, and it was just like walk in and pick one, and there you go. So I thought that was weird. I'd never seen it.
So instead, let me get this straight. Instead of going to Jack Stacks or Gates, you went to this bathroom.
I had to use the restroom. I had a couple drinks at the airport.
So you went to this bathroom instead.
Went to the bathroom at 3 o'clock.
What's the movie? What is it? What 4-minute ads? 20
That's probably that same area too.
Something about Mary.
Yeah. Yep.
I was beginning fancy.
That shit was funny.
But overall experience, first time in that area was a positive one. It was cool. I definitely want to go back for
So
it.
no Jay Alexander's.
I asked about that. They said it is a great place, but yeah, I just after the night game, then I drove 7 hours the next day, and by the time I got back, I was exhausted. And then I left the next day. So I didn't really have a lot of time to do much. I wish I would have, because
We gotta take a trip out there.
Yeah.
no, we just
Like a weekend trip to fuck around.
KC. One of my favorite spots. I'll tell you one.
I love living out there.
And what was the name of the road you guys told me to go, where all the bars are and stuff?
State.
I'll
I'll say this. I'm gonna say two quick stories real quick, just about Casey. One time we did a card show. We went to some dive bar. Me, Lambert, Ken, some other people, and we're just getting totally smashed. And I've never seen Lambert this drunk in my life. And we're driving, and he starts leaning, like he starts biting into my shoulder in the backseat because he's so drunk, and he starts making like noises. Like, you okay? He was that smashed. He goes, hold on, pull over. I gotta take a piss. And they see that he gets out. He just runs into the corner. I'm going into the corner for let him go get his ass.
Oh,
That one, and then actually, I'm not gonna tell you alone. I'm not gonna tell you.
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
I will leave that one for Kansas City.
Yeah.
State line. Yeah, I love Overland Park. Love Kansas City.
All right. Well, moving to the next segment. So we just had the election pass. Congratulations to President-elect Donald Trump. He was reelected. You clapping up for him?
Above on?
He was reelected again. So he will be the 47th president of the United States. So we were talking in the green room. We were talking about things, may or may not get affected. And we were talking about one of the topics that came up was healthcare, and how it is now. Mitch knows a little bit, some stuff about it. You just said, the premiums are coming up, or we
Well, I mean,
open enrollment is about to come.
well, yeah, okay. So, for example, I'm associated with the industry. What I'm about to say is alleged, and just for entertainment purposes,
Yes.
and also it's just hearsay from other people I know in the industry.
Oh,
I'll just
Yes.
go ahead.
We're
and
covering ourselves legally.
So with that said, so we do a lot with Medicare,
Right.
and it is open enrollment season for Medicare.
Okay.
So it's from October 16th to December 7th for Medicare Advantage plans, different things like that. Couple interesting things, like again, that I've noticed in what people have told me, and overlooking some policies that some of the people that I see, that other agents. I saw one person doing a policy for a lady, and she had 3 or 4 prescription drugs, and they estimated her total cost for the year to be $330,000. Now, she's fortunate because she was on Medicare and Medicaid, because she had what they call a dual plan, a D-SNP. Okay, so her dual plan. So I asked her, you paid last year. How much did you pay? I didn't pay anything, and that's good. I'm so glad that people get coverage like that. I really am. And then you could Google it yourself. Who pays for, Medicaid, in the States and different things like that. And it says taxpayers' dollars,
Right.
Okay. Well, with that said, okay, the light bulb starts hitting you in your head at a certain point. is the medication that she's taking, those 3 or 4 pills, every year, is it, I mean, $330,000? Come on, man.
Yeah, bro.
And then the next question is, so if the taxpayers' dollars are paying for it, and she's not, and I'm glad she's not. Let's not get this twisted. I'm glad she's not. Anybody that's retired that, put money into the system should be getting it back, and then some, with interest, like they charge us for,
Just like our Social Security, anything like that.
or even, yeah, exactly. And it's, yeah. But anyway, where's that money going? Again, and I already, we can read between the lines, man, but it just opened your eyes to this. So another thing I'll see, so you can keep that in mind. That's one time. I mean, some of the figures we'll see is $80,000, $60,000, $20,000, $15,000, and then you look at how many people are on these plans, millions of people. Again, where's that money going? How's it split? Obviously, it's going to the pharmaceutical companies. It's going to the providers. It's going to the medicine facilities, right? The hospitals.
Right.
And it's provided by the taxpayers.
Right.
So again, read between the lines. I'm not saying anything else right now, but just read between the lines, man. And with that said, then you got the other part of the game. You talk to people. You're like, well, how often do you go to a doctor? Oh, well, I don't know. I'm fine. My doctor, this doctor wants me to go every month. Another doctor wants me to go every 3 months. Another doctor wants me to go this.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, and for your specialist, what do you pay? Oh, $45. Well, it's $45
For your copay.
For your copay.
Yeah.
And there's some that you got to get yourself a good age of people because, if you're, I don't think our crowd is quite, Medicare age, but I mean, you never know. Or they might have their parents or grandparents, whatever. But, you want to check all these fine prints and read all the contracts and all the lines. It's called evidence of coverage. You definitely want to read every page of the evidence of coverage. And especially you can look them up online. You can even do Control F and search keywords. Control F, search dental. Control F, search over the counter. Search, copay. Search every word that you needed to pull out of the contracts to understand them better for you or your loved ones, if this affects you. But I don't know. It's just interesting because it's like, so now you got these doctors. And again, I have to say to me, and what if these doctors are sitting there? Because I don't know each one personally in each situation, so it's not fair to say that. But can you imagine if this doctor's sitting there and, he's treating his patients in his hospital like a business? Oh, well, come on back, come on back next month and next month and next month and next month.
Right.
You're either paying, just a little bit, or if you're on Medicaid, it's covered, but I'm getting paid every single time. It's no different. I mean, come on, man. Insurance for, healthcare is no different than insurance for car. Insurance, and you notice they're changing the rules with cars. It's like, remember they used to always have the thing where you'd be at the gas station. Hey, we can get you a new windshield. Just sign up for this. And then we can, what's it called? And we'll give you tickets to the ball game and $100, And now all of a sudden I have a friend that has a, very nice Lexus. She made one claim on her windshield and they won't even insure again.
Okay. Okay. So that's crazy as hell because in Arizona, So in Arizona, unless they've changed the law or whatever, in Arizona, they're not supposed to be able to deny you for any window claims. You can make as many window claims as you want in the
Not
state.
supposed to raise your insurance.
It's not supposed to raise the insurance at all, which is, I mean, I remember when I used to have my Mercedes.
Yeah. And we all know how many, especially in
I
Arizona.
went through like 8 fucking windows. You know what I'm saying?
Between windows and tires, Arizona, I came from the Bay Area. Let me tell you, man, it's a whole nother animal out here. I've blown 20 tires over the last 25 years.
Right.
And I've probably went through, again, 10 windows.
No, and just on my Mercedes alone, I literally, because they tried to make it more aerodynamic and shit like that.
And then they also connect electrics to it.
Yeah. So, and
Seven months.
Yeah. And I literally,
Which just
8 windows, and it was, I had the run flats on there.
Yeah.
So I had fucking, over the life of the car that I had, 10 fucking tires.
Yeah.
You know who lost on that? Because I did. They talked me into, when you go through finance, they were like, oh, do you want this extra coverage? I was like, fuck it. I do it. They lost on that deal.
Yeah.
That was the one time they were like, you know what, we can't be, they learned a lesson. They were like, we can't be offering this shit because they definitely lost. I paid like $2,500 out of pocket.
Yeah.
I guarantee you they were in 25, 30 grand.
So it makes you wonder, out of that 30 grand cost, how much was their cost, you know? Compared to
Yeah,
market.
yeah.
No, I mean that.
Market, yeah, what was their actual cost?
So again, point being, man, that it's crazy with all these inflated costs, who's paying for them, who's getting stuck, and then the people that deserve coverage aren't getting it,
Right.
and are getting shook.
Well,
You know,
yeah, RFK is supposed to be, that's supposed to be his department.
Robert
I guess,
Kennedy Jr.?
Yeah, Robert Kennedy Jr. I guess Trump is important him, to oversee that. That's, word on the street, stuff like that. He did just come out and say, hey, listen, first of all, I'm not stripping away any vaccines. He says he's not getting rid of any vaccines, but the drug costs, the gouging, this is the one thing that I didn't like here was he put the FDA on notice. He said, hey, all this about these psychedelic drugs, about marijuana, all these things that you guys have been holding back, is no longer going to be acceptable.
Yeah.
And that was music in my ears because, I'm technically still in the industry. So when you say something like that, that's what we love to hear because, it's been this war on fucking drugs forever, right? And the reason why it's been a war on drugs is because people are profiting off the war on drugs. And the people who push these prescription medications definitely don't want alternatives to it. You know what I'm saying? And so now you have somebody in there that says enough is enough. I'm going to do that. Well, okay, well, let's see. That could be a benefit. So that's the healthcare part that I'm really hoping that he does go in there and cut up the red tape. But then I go back to sometimes with your cynical side, it says, okay, yeah, you say that, but the powers that be, are they really going to let that happen? You know what I'm saying?
Unless they get it someplace else tenfold more,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, even with even if they try to reduce it, I don't know if premiums are going to go down. The company I work for, we're self-insured, but we have a insurance company or policy that basically is like, they negotiate on your behalf for lower rates. So they cover it, but what they do is they get the statement bill that says, hey, all right, here's your bill from the doctor. Your bill, like they showed it was the top 10 claims were like $2.5 million for our company. This company went in and negotiated down with all the doctors and surgeons and everybody that were involved in those top 10 claims. And the insurance company or self-insured ended up paying out only $330,000 of the $2.5 million. That being said, and that's just the top 10 claims. Overall, how much did they save from all the claims that everybody in our company processed and for going to the doctor and any surgeries or whatever medication they had? They paid a fraction of what the normal insurance company would have paid, but our premiums are still going up next year. They're still going up 6-7%. If we didn't have this program and we were just on regular like PPO, HMO, they'd be up 18% year over year the last 2 years.
Wow.
So, I mean, he was saying like for a family, the family program, if we were just on a regular program from last year to this year, it would have went up $3,800 for the year for a family. So if you have a wife and a kid and all three, you want to be insured, you would have went up $3,800 over that year over year. And the same thing last year to this year would have been the same thing. You're talking in 2 years, you would have been up like $7,000 a year on your health insurance. And damn sure that your pay probably ain't going up that much.
Right.
So how do you even cover that, or how does that even work?
Here's the thing. It's funny. So, when I go to my doctors, they ask you if you want to do cash pay or if they want to, bill you. So
you're going to homeopathic though, right?
Yeah, I do a homeopathic, but they do take insurance on like my labs and stuff like that.
Okay, because I was gonna say because I've been looking, I've never heard of a homeopath that takes insurance. So.
Yeah, they do. Mine does on all labs and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So not on their like visits that you do with that. You can't bill through insurance that way, but on your labs, yes, you can bill through insurance. So because I have seen. So, because my labs out of pocket are $600. That's what I was about to say. Is my labs out of pocket are $600.
Yeah.
But when they bill my labs to my insurance company, it's almost $3,000. So, it's just it's crazy because I've seen it on both sides. So that's what I'm saying. It's like, why do my labs cost less when I pay cash, and why does it cost more?
Same thing with dentists. Like there's a few people. One of my good buddies who runs a company, I used to work with, in Scottsdale. He was just sharing with me like his experience with, root canals and different things like that, and how, you have your private insurance, you pay through the face for insurance, especially if you're a small business or whatever,
Well,
and you're paying through the face, and you get your dental coverage too, and you're paying through the face for that. And with dental coverage, you get to some procedure, and it's $1,800 for a root canal or whatever it was.
right.
And he was like, that's the copay after they take the insurance or whatever. But then if he just went in with cash to another dentist, and I guess he said the dentist he did that with actually fucked his tooth up, made it a little bit worse. And then a couple years later, he had to go back in and get something else done, and another root canal. And I guess he said he paid $1,500 cash. That was the cash price to the dentist. No insurance.
Well, that's why a lot of people go down to Mexico, right?
Yeah,
across the-
exactly.
The Arizona, California, Mexico border. There's all those places to go get medical procedures. Malcolm goes down and get, like, you can get a crown that in these states would cost $4 or $5 grand sometimes for like $800.
Yeah, I'll just tell you this. Chris, when she used to bartend in El Paso, one of her main customers at the bar owned a couple dentist offices, one in Juarez and then one over the border. And so all the clients just didn't go over the border, I guess, to go. And I guess like did a root canal for like $300.
Everything's super cheap.
Yeah.
And it's crazy.
These are licensed dentists that know what the fuck they're doing and stuff like that. It just, like I said, it's the cost of doing business. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, one of the things I was watching, I don't remember if it was on TV or on the internet or something. People are doing these travel trips around medical. There's places, and I can't out there research it and get back to what country it's in, but you can go in for like $2,000. They do every spec up on you under the books. They check your heart. They do full body scans. They do blood work. They look at everything and tell you exactly what you have going on. And for less than what just, a couple checkups in the U.S. would be. It would cost you probably 50 times that if you try to do it in the U.S., where you could fly over there for the cost of the flight and everything in your hotel. And it's like a 2 or 3 day process where you're just basically at a medical facility and they just take you from place to place, checking everything. Women, they do like, all the things, then check top to bottom. And then they give you a full like diagnosis of like what your health is. I'm like, and you can do it over there for $2 grand, but here you couldn't touch it. It would be 20, 30 grand. And half the doctors be like, oh, you don't need this. You don't need this. You don't need this. There they do everything. And it's like, man, it makes me wonder, like, that might not be a bad idea to go kind of do, travel and just check yourself out, see where you're really at.
Check me.
Because you know how shit is here. Like, they'll be like, you go to your doctor, they walk in, they look at you, they go, oh, do some blood work, and they go, oh, this is bad or this is bad. They don't tell you why it's bad.
Everything's a cash grab, man, in America.
You look at like cholesterol, your cholesterol's high or your blood pressure's high, but they don't tell you why. They say it's high. Oh, it's diet and exercise, and here's some pills. Have a nice day. The doctor sees you maybe 10 minutes. You do blood work. They just look at some numbers and go, okay, here's some pills. See you next year.
Let me take this to a different field. I've been having left shoulder problems for years, like with working out and stuff. And to the point where it was bugging the shit out of me. I saw one of these things, these ads for free, not free, but like $30, $50, get a chiropractor, X-ray plus whatever else, plus a quick treatment. Like $300, $400 value. So I went in, whatever. And I think I told this story already, how I knew the lady's husband. I went to school with him, whatever. Cool lady, very brilliant, very brilliant. Most of these chiropractors are, they're doctors or whatever, and then they're educated sometimes in other fields too, in medicine. But I mean, brilliant. I didn't even realize that, like, she showed me on the thing, my neck and how my posture was and how it was a neck issue, not a shoulder issue. I actually had a rotator cuff. I thought I was going to need surgery or whatever else. And she goes, so what are your goals? And it's just so funny because everything is like designed like kind of, what are your goals? What's your budget? What's they're a great lady. Not saying she didn't know her stuff and that wasn't the legit program, but it's just an interesting perspective because my goals, it's kind of like the business 101 is throw your goals back at you. What's your goals? You want to be pain free without surgery, right? We used to call it gut punching, in certain industries. You throw something back at people that kicks them in the gut to what they want or makes them feel like they can't walk away from it type shit. Make them feel the pain. I'm not saying that's what she used, but these are different techniques. So she sits there, so your goal is to be surgery free and to have yours. Okay, well, here's a program I just came up with for you that we can get you to that goal. And it's basically you come in 3 times a week for the first 3 months. You know, and I'm like, 3 times a week for the first 3 months. And it's going to be just 15 minutes each time,
Right.
et cetera, et cetera. And that package, you pay it today, it's $2,000. If you pay it over time, and we have a payment plan, it's $3,800.
Right.
You know, and I'm sitting there going, damn, hold on. I was thinking, you know, that I could get seen and maybe twice a month,
Right.
you know, pay your rate to be, you know,
Yeah.
I didn't know it was going to be this whole, got to buy into the whole program, you know, whatever. And so it was just awakening for me, whether, you know, and so then she goes, yeah, you know, don't get me wrong, you could go away, but you got to keep it going. So I suggest this to at least 12 to 18 months.
Oh,
So we're talking 12 to 18 months. And if it's $3,000 for three, so then basically I'm your client, I'm paying 12 grand a year. So we're looking at like 20 G's, you know, 15 G's. No wrong. I mean, again, these are all in prices that we're talking about other shit for. So I decided to kind of think about it. You know, I was really going to probably even do it just because the pain or whatever.
Right.
But I decided, I saw another ad, saw a place right down the street from me. I went in there. They used the little the machine stuff.
Right.
2 doctors in there, brilliant as shit. And they, what's it called? They also kind of wanted to do the same thing, like, but it was different. I explained my situation, kind of let them know that I'm not doing this 18-month shit, you know.
Right.
No, well, you know, just like you work out, you got to go to the chiropractor. You know, it's almost like, you know, and always align, make sure you're aligned, et cetera. So at first it was, you know, okay, let's go 3 times a week. But it was at a pack. I could buy packages. I buy 6 of them, get 1 free, or my 5 get 1 free.
Right.
And this was 5 at $50 a piece, you know, because they only see you for 15.
He's a close one.
And so went 3 weeks, first week, second week. By the 3rd week, 2 times. And then all of a sudden, like, hey, your shoulder's better, you know, no pain, no whatever. My shoulder's been fine, you know, ever since. And now I just go there. Oh, you can go once a month. And that's exactly, so now I buy the package I get 6 for the price of 5. It's like $45 a visit, and I go once a month.
Oh.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to say, it's just, and don't get me wrong, it worked for me. Maybe I got lucky, maybe whatever else. But again, the way everybody's selling shit nowadays is just crazy.
Right. Right.
It's just crazy. It's just, I'm not saying it's greed even on that situation, but it's just high price, high stakes. Yeah. And, you know, and everything else. And then can you imagine when we're talking insurance and, you know, and just the responsibility of that money? Like, if you're not paying it and the taxpayer, and that's the other thing, how come us as taxpayers, this is the one thing, okay, well, forget the election for a second, left, right, because you know me, I think left, right, again, the wings to the same fucking bird. And, you know, I really think it's a puppet show to distract people and to have a narrative as to why things are. You know, you're going to have to, and to divide people, which is so obvious. All you have to do is look at Facebook today, you know, just the division, you know, or just the way people, you know, the posts of people the last couple of days, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You know, you have your gracious winners, you have your sore winners, you have your sore losers, you have your classy losers, you know, I mean, they're on their sides.
Right.
But man, it's just crazy to see all these disclaimers on Facebook, you know, both ways, you know, like, I don't know. It's just interesting. But with that said, man, it's the system. I don't know. It just seems like it's set up to cash grab. Everything's a freaking cash grab. And as taxpayers, why can't we get an audit for where our tax dollars are going? Why can't we get an audit for all the gas taxes? Like, for example, California pays all their taxes. Why isn't there an audit to where all the tax dollars go, where the bridge money goes, where, you know, the tolls go?
Right.
You know, again, it's, you know, and with the budgets and the funding, and I know some people go to City Hall and get the funding for the freeways or whatever, but I mean, seriously, man, you know, they want to drag you in, act like you have this right to vote that makes this difference, even though, again, it's the Electoral College.
I'm glad you just brought that up. Like you said, it's only a handful of states that it makes up. Like you just brought up a great point. Here's starting to change. Right? Here's starting to change. But like California, if you live in California, your vote don't matter. No matter which way you vote, because it's always gonna vote one way. You know what I'm saying? It's just whatever.
You have 50 votes in the state of California. 50 votes for I mean, they're more than anybody else.
Well, what I'm saying is, but what I'm saying is, if you vote in Kentucky, Indiana, Arkansas, whatever, Oklahoma, your vote don't count.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be one way.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? It's so until it gets to one man, one vote, then I'm saying I think it's justified. But the way they got it set up now, it's fucking jerry rigged, and they won't change it because it's some fucking archaic system that our forefathers fucking came up with back then that worked when we had fucking 13 fucking states. And it doesn't work right now that as we got a fucking whole fucking country.
Well, I'll tell you what, I personally think they're going to change down a lot of shit, but they're going to change it in the guise of, we know exactly who you are in order to vote, and in order for your vote to count, you know, you need to be ID'd, and this is your physical ID or your ID, you know, basically, whether it be a Neuralink or a chip or whatever else. I really
But then
believe
again,
that. You know?
and again, like you said, they would have to, at that point, they would have to change the system up to be one man vote.
And I'll tell you
Because here's the thing: why would the people in California? Why would they even fucking go get tripped up? Because I ain't got to prove shit. I'm gonna fucking. Here's the thing: is we got more people to vote this direction in Arkansas. Why would people in Kentucky, Arkansas, or whatever? Why would they fucking get Neuralinked up? You know what I'm saying?
Well, one because I'm sure there's going to be added like basically probably. I mean, again, this is all, you know, this is all just forecasting and opinions, you know. But to get people to do something, you have to wave a carrot in front of them. That carrot's going to be probably food, water, shelter. You know what I mean? And also on top of them, the guise of being who you say you are. It's good. I don't know. I just think we're opening. Either way, we're going to head down these floodgates. It's just, this is going to be the narrative because this person won.
Right.
That's, you know, that's going to go this way, or, you know, and we can talk about that in a second.
Well, you said 2023.
Yeah.
I mean, well, no, excuse me, 2030.
30, yeah.
Yeah, 2030. You think all hell's gonna break loose?
I really do. I really do. I mean, and it's not just me, because what's it called? I think the Global Economic Forum said the same thing. Some of the biggest guys in the whole freaking world, the globalist elite, said something similar, that the next 5 years are going to be so accelerated, you're not going to even recognize it.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, again, take that for what it is, but I mean, why are they even saying it?
And what does that mean, though? What's accelerated mean? I mean, is it accelerated in technological growth, AI growth? Is it you know, breaking down, corroding the society that we know? You know, that's what I'm saying is when they make statements like that, it's like, what?
Yeah, no, exactly.
I get what you're saying. It's trying to sound the alarm, but what are you sounding the alarm on? You know, because it could be a fucking normal number of things that fucking come down the pipeline. So anyway, I guess we gotta live through it and see.
Yeah, we're gonna. It's gonna be interesting. I actually thought we'd have a little bit more time to kind of get into a little more in depth on, you know, just a couple changes, and you know, maybe we talk about it next week, depending on what else.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, because I definitely want to talk about like the direction and stuff like that. So it gives us some more topics to talk about next week. So we're at the end of the show. We're going to talk about the thoughts of the day. Greedy, since you want to play around and call yourself Nick.
My thought of the day is, you know, sometimes when you're sports betting,
Here we go.
you got to know when to hold them and know when to fold. Just like the political system is rigged, I truly think there's something to sports betting being rigged. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh,
We'll
great.
talk about it back in the green room after the show. But
You've gone from Nick the Greedy back again, but we'll have to see. So anyway.
yeah, I know. It's frustrating. Frustrating.
Yeah, interesting.
And the guy that you need, and you know that here's the thing with the sports betting especially, is they put all these people on like 40 yards or 50 yards or 60 yards. So a guy's at 39 and he makes a catch. Oh, there's a penalty. It's coming back.
Right.
Like they can manipulate that and make sure people stay under certain thresholds.
But again,
I really think
you said they got to the coordinators, but then they would also.
I mean, they can have the officials.
Well, they have to have one here.
You know, they say there's a penalty on every play. They go, oh, that guy's going to hit his over.
Of course,
taking them
between the offensive line holding, between you know, hitting the guy on the crossing route or not.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like and then obviously the cornerbacks, you know?
Yeah.
Real quick, what I'm gonna do for my thought of the day, I saw something and I sent it to you guys earlier. And again, this is just, keep in mind, it's just an idea. It doesn't necessarily mean it's true. But I'm gonna read exactly what I saw here on this account from Just a Thought on Instagram, or Project Knowledge that forwarded it. And it says here, the Trump psyop is so multi-level and undeniably genius, the establishment has successfully conditioned both parties to focus on Trump for all the wrong reasons. He's not Hitler like the Democrats think, and he's not a savior like the Republicans think. He's a very convincing, consuming, and charismatic actor who will absolutely be selected this election because this was written the day before, so he can continue to distract supporters of both parties. Meanwhile, the technocrats and global cabal who fund them will move forward with implementing all the policies we've been successfully distracted from. They will end the Fed and replace it with CBDC. They will control the borders with biometric surveillance. They will implement a voter ID that will become your digital ID, which we kind of touched on a little bit earlier. And they will present the Everything app that will manage your social credit score. And I'm just going to add one more thing. Not only will they do that, in my opinion, they will also punish people for thinking either out the box or posting conspiracies. Again, because you're starting to see it already. People claiming they're scared for their lives when the weather manipulation, and then FEMA was down there, cleaning everything up, and they're like, we're scared for our lives, we're getting death threats, et cetera, et cetera. Then you also start seeing that these weird drills were supposed to happen the night of the election in Atlanta and in Northern California, and all of a sudden if people speak out on that or start, using their free right to speak on it, again, they're going to start switching that shit, and people are going to be getting punished on these social credit scores that based on what they post and what they say. I'm just telling you that we always seem to follow Japan. They break the ID in Japan. We talk about it for, like we never allow it. And then we always allow it 5 to 10 years later. And I'm just telling you that shit's coming. Promise you it's coming. And they're going to silence a lot of people. And most of the people are going to be happy about it. They're going to sit there and go, yeah, that's great. That's great. That's fine. And they're going to buy the narrative, just like they buy the narrative. There was one shooter in Vegas, just like 2 planes hit the Trade Center and knocked the third building down by itself. Again. And again,
we've never talked about. We got to talk about.
And a lone gunman killed JFK.
Exactly.
Yeah, we gotta talk about
people buy into all this because they're so afraid of the other possibilities, and they're so programmed that there's no program for them what to do if they had to survive in this world with what it is. I really believe that. So that's my thoughts.
I'll piggyback off that. If Mitch is right, and 2030 is some fucked up times. We need to go get some rations. Just remember, folks, you ain't got to run out and go get toilet paper. We make plenty of we're living producers of toilet paper, right? So leave the toilet tissue alone. But go out and get your rations and get your provisions. Maybe get some guns too, or if not, go get them non-lethals.
Less lethal.
Yeah, less.
And then soup them up.
Yeah. And if you need any help, send us some comments.
Exactly. I got you.
Yeah. Mitchell got you.
Yep.
But on that note, we out of here. Love you.